All right, we're going to go live here for a little bit and see what I got going on. And let me get the laptop going and we'll get started. Good morning, Mr. Parson. We'll get back to work on Yoda. We're going to get on with the wheels. I want to straighten that up a little bit more. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I want to get as close as I can with things. I'm gonna spray a little bit more of the orange and the red around in here, and we're gonna blacken the wheels up a little bit, darken that up a little bit more, and then the forks. I need to go in and do some of that later. Get the paintbrush out and do some blue on there. One of these Visionaires. Is that what you're talking about? This is a Visionaire. Uh, you can never have enough magnets when you're dealing with the Visionaire. I think that's what you were talking about. Now, what do I do with my airbrush? There it is. I didn't have nothing set up here. I was just going at it. The back wheel's all dusted in like I wanted. The motor got the blue like I wanted. I just need to throw some white on it, a little bit of white on it, give it a little bit of spark to it. But it's still a lot to go. But you just got to stay on it, do a little bit each day or whatever you can. I'll use Cretex paint, the Wicked line and the illustration line. I mixed both of them together, and plus I got some of who is it? Tim Gore's. I got his paint set also. You can mix them any way you want. And then I used the 4021 reducer. And the paper that I paint on here, this is Bristol paper. I think I have, because they don't make this one that I've been using anymore, I found out. I think they discontinued making this. This is what I was using. Bristol Smooth. I was using that, but I'm thinking I might have to go back. I'll have to go back and get the watercolor, but I'm going to have to look for a Bristol one. I was using this. This is not bad, but it's too coarse. It's not smooth enough. So I'm going to have to check in and see if I. They do have it in Bristol, and I'm not sure if I have it or not. I have another. I got another whole book. I might just go ahead and use this one up. It's good. It's good paper, but it's not smooth. I need to. You need to put the Autobahn sealer on it, nice and thick, and then sand it down. Because it acts like a, what is it called? Them with it not being as smooth as that Bristol paper, it kind of like a canvas paper. Kind of reminds me of a canvas. But I like that. I love that Bristol paper. So I'm gonna have to get the other one in Bristol. And you could get that at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I think Hobby Lobby has it too. I haven't looked on that. Hobby Lobby is I used to, or I still do. I get some of what they had there, but I think they're going to take out Cretex paint out of there. They want to do that other paint line, and I don't know about that. I like Cretex paint. That's what I gathered at the Hobby Lobby that I go to. And Michaels, they got a lot of different paint, but they don't carry the Cretex. I don't know what's up with that. I think Cretex has got to get out and sell their brand or something. Start talking to these people. They need salesmen to get out there and talk to them. At least here in Maryland. I go into them, like Parsons, when I go into them stores, I invent different ways of stuff to do the artwork on and that. It's like I was showing the other day where I got that mask and I'm going to go ahead and paint on it and everything. Yeah, a lot of them carry ink, different kinds of inks for your airbrush too. I think what I do that I'm gonna do the mermaid painting. I'm gonna start it off with the ink, the Timothy John Luke's ink. All right, you see how it's orange? Got a lot of orange going around, so I'm just gonna dust around where the orange is and that. I should have started off with yellow. Get this lighter, how it is there, or throw some white on it. I might throw white on it later. Where's my thing? I'm not caring about getting the the orange on the black because, like I say, I'm gonna go ahead and dust in some black later.
Gentlemen, about as far as I can go on the table here. I need to get it under the car. I can see how it's driving. And hopefully all the information that me and Will came up with translate. But according to the measurements, should be good here. I got my 18 and a half down here. Say 16, so maybe we can cheat that a little bit. I mean, that's nice. That fits around the crossface pretty good. You might even cut this a touch more off just to get the thing back a little bit more. I like that. Maybe get this thing hanging though.
Sometimes much like when you see us line the whole car up with tape showing how wide the body's going to be and so forth, we're just trying to get an actual scale visual of what the vehicle's going to look like. We've tried to do this on the two-post lift, but you can't stand back and look at it. So Kevin and I pulled this off now, put it out in the middle of the floor. We're just throwing the fender in very, very lightly, set the lid on and also the windshield. We're going to set it down, get an identical stance with the actual size of the tires that we've got for the vehicle. This will give us more of a visual view. Stand back and look at it all. That looks cool, or man, what the hell was I trying to sell Paul?
What do they call it?
Home ec project.
Another arts and crafts deal.
Hey, hold that for a second.
What this is, you know what I call this?
I'm trying to come
I
up
don't need the orange to be on this fork.
medium stance, performance SUV, luxury SUV. So we're gonna create something that was never really there before. We're gonna see if it sticks to the wall though, because there's a lot of things that we don't normally do that we're doing right now.
This is truck. Dude, damn, that's twice in one day. You know how we always talk about letting out our blood, sweat, and tears in that? Well, that's true. In the summertime, we sweat a lot. And look at, I've been cut by this twice already. Are you sad for me?
I think about that snack bar.
I just covered with blood and sweat. That's my fault.
Let's take that front jack down. Stop right there for a second. Readjust this tire. Let's put that in. The rims are a little under. I gotta fix those. We're going to go back. Bearish, a little too far. Tiny front slip. It's got a 3/4 inch rake. Well, according to that, anyway. Let's go down another half inch right there.
Getting there, boy.
Do you see where I was going with how big the tire is? We're gonna still have some profile. He doesn't want it to look like it's on rubber bands. He doesn't want it to look like it's lifted. We don't want a donk. No offense to those.
No, no, I've never seen a bumper. I hope so.
Would you call it a donk? Is it possible to lower?
Yeah, I'll come in and
It's
I'm gonna throw.
1966. We're really a
Even though I got the orange going right now,
near future.
then I'm gonna throw some red
Basically built something like
over
a
it
Ford Motor Company
lightly in that,
and that was a full
just to
size
try to get it matched up a
SUV.
little
It was
bit.
actually a
It
performance
doesn't have to be exactly close, but we'll get it going
Can we throw a bit on it?
a little bit more. If I throw the red over it, it'll darken it up. I'm hoping.
very simple. It doesn't take very long. We just want
That's
to
my
get a
goal.
visual of the stance, the height off the ground, how it's going to sit proportionally, whether that size of tire is going to work or not, and so forth. So I
But then I still got to go up here and play around with the handlebars and stuff like that.
so 65.
I'm just trying to take it as a step at a time
Tire
why I attack it,
stuff, I think looks good.
go after it.
What I don't want is a small tire.
The stance on this is obviously something that's a little bit, for me, hard to swallow. I obviously like them as low as they'll go, and if you're gonna go up, let's put it up really high. And this is kind of in between, and that is exactly why we do mock-up, because
one step down, and maybe a month. I like it lower.
I just know that Paul will run it like this, and then we'll lower it a little bit and take a picture of it like that one and just sleep on it.
Let me, I'm gonna put a front balance on this real quick.
Yeah, I think the red will do it. And like I say, I might even hit it a little bit here. I don't know. I'm not sure. And hit it up in here a little bit.
And something that Ford would have built, almost like the Carroll Shelby Durango. You know, we want to give it kind of that feel of the ground effect.
I just got back from the grocery store a couple minutes ago. I had to go get me. I wanted to get me some tomatoes because for some reason, I'm craving tomato toast and a slice of cheese and bologna on top of it, or just tomato and toast with salt and pepper. It's that time of the year where I crave that tomato and toast. And I mean, there's a lot of different things I have in the refrigerator to eat, but I didn't have no tomatoes, and I was like, I want some tomatoes. And I don't eat much of the tomatoes. So I just bought two big ones. That'll be good enough. I'll probably end up throwing something, half of one away. I don't know. Sometimes that's just good enough for me is tomato on toast. I watch this fork again.
Where the Ferrari is getting going is a little bit tight on the backside. So the engine was installed into the cradle. I got Will on the forklift trying to come around and get square.
So it's pretty tight closing around the back of the Ferrari here. We've got our machinery, we've got the car, the car's on the table, so we can't really slide it around too easily. It's gonna be tight, but we'll make room.
Let's put it a little bit more over here on this side of the fork.
Yeah, we need to just set it down on the floor.
You want some lots back under it?
Good dude. That's gonna be three videos I have out this week. We're headed to Tennessee week for a week tomorrow. Ah, yeah. That's a good thing. Tennessee has a lot of good stands for vegetables and that too.
We're gonna give him enough room to get around. And 3, 2, 1, you're clear back here, so get that bar out.
Yeah, I'm in Maryland.
Or the back wheels on that full car. Keep going. Keep going. Try hard. Here you go. Keep going. You're good.
All right, I think that's enough of the orange.
Wait, just slow it and cut back towards your
get the red out. Dump the orange, get the red out.
He's crooked. Does that matter? Well, I think you could, honestly, if you came back and just cracked and went straight in, I think you got it. Three, two,
Got this
one,
bird.
straight. Crank it hard again. There you go. Come on around. Come on around.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, get yourself good pictures of bears. I wish I would have got that one picture. I didn't. I can't find it. I got a feeling it's in the clouds. I did when I had an iPad. Me, a buddy of mine, his wife, we were riding somewhere, and as we coming back, there was a black bear running across the cornfield. And I had the iPad. I took the picture with the iPad, and the picture came out good and everything on the iPad. But when this black bear, you seen him in the cornfield running across, he stood out. And then when he stood up, massive. He was up higher than the stalk on the corn. So, and he had every bit of muscles on him. I'm like, wow. And I zoomed in on the picture and that as best as I could, and from a distance that we were, and that bear looked good. That's kind of bear. It would been a nice wall hanger. I say wall hanger for me. Well, nah, he wouldn't have been a wall hanger. He would have been a good bedspread. Because I just want a bear that way, to where I could just lay over top of the bed when I'm not sleeping. But he had some muscle. He had been over 6 foot tall, standing up. Well over 6 foot tall. But he looked so pretty running across that field. And he was by himself running. He wasn't running after anything because there wasn't we didn't see no deer or anything. He was just running to a spot that he knows. He just came down from the mountain top. That's the thing when you ride down the road and you got a big field where there's corn in it. Sometimes them bears are running in the field eating some of the corn when they freshly get out of their dens and that from the winter. And they're going after their food. They gotta get their belly full again. I guess he had his belly full and everything as he came down from the mountain. I don't think too far away was a stream, water stream for him.
Around here, no 2 days are ever the same, and I tell people this all the time. Building custom cars is just an exercise in problem solving. It's different every single day.
It looks good. He absolutely loves
Yeah, this one was every bit 500 plus pound. West Virginia has some good bears too. Yeah.
I really enjoy it. I mean, there's
But this was it. Like I said, this was in Pennsylvania. Well,
not only your sanity,
West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Maryland are all tight together. So is DC. DC is part of close by.
One of the greatest reasons I get up and come to work every day is every
My mom was, she's from Buckhannon, West Virginia. They usually have a strawberry festival up there, and they close off the one side of the road and that. And you have to get, for us, we had to get on the other side of when they close off that road leading into Buckhannon before, yeah, we had to get in on the other side because her side of the family has a cemetery. They got a cemetery there, and it's mostly her side of the family. My mother passed away. She never chose to go there. She chose somewhere else to go be buried at. But I went, me, her brother, and a couple other people went there to where she was raised at, back in the hill. I was back there, coal miners and that. And it was amazing to see what she was telling the stories where she had to walk to school and stuff like that. How it was uphill, downhill, and stuff like that. It was true. And where they had the one school and everybody was in one class, just like the story of well, Little House on the Prairie, where it was a little school and everything like that. That's how her school was. She even I had the picture of the whole the whole school on the steps of the schoolhouse, and her in it. In the picture.
What's really rad about these RS4 chassis, especially it's already powder coated, detailed, and well put together. So as soon as we get it here, it's gonna go on there. We're gonna make sure everything fits, get everything done.
Man, at one time we went up, you could see for miles and that, and then the next time we went up, the trees overgrown a lot of different areas and that, and you couldn't see as far.
We're also gonna outfit this thing with a badass Nilsson Racing Kong supercharged LS. Over the top with an 8-speed transmission, the Atlas transfer case. We're gonna put it on 18 by 12
Okay, now we got the red.
tires. We're gonna also try to replicate the way that the vehicle was painted back when we had it up until 1993. So this is gonna be really, really cool. At this point, everything's kind of plug and play. You know, we've got the engine coming in, transmission
See, I would
coming in, put it all together, put it in the chassis, and we're off to the races. Just that easy.
get my eyes set.
Will this bolt up to the transmission? I don't know yet, but this adapter piece in here is backwards. Yeah. This is like a ceiling fan, right? Or like something where nothing comes apart in this train. Even if you're running an aftermarket transfer case, most of these adapters are designed to go behind the web trans. This is a two-wheel web case, but the next one is
This red might be too thin. I might have to add a drop. Add a drop of wicket.
So we got a two-wheel drive transmission, but we need a four-wheel drive.
The illustration. I got an illustration here. I'll add it now. Instead of the illustration, let's add a drop of. Well, I have that. We'll add a drop of the wicket. That's the detail Carmine. And gonna add a drop of 4050 in it. Like I said, it's too thin. 3 drops of 40/50 in it.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, no, you can just go. I got my hand.
I guess so.
Yeah, practice. I mean, even to me, even practice is when you're painting. You just go ahead and start painting something. Or, like I said, for some people, want to practice and that at the store, pick up a coloring book to where you can go ahead and practice your airbrush control with uh yeah, with color. Cut the page out of coloring book and practice that way too.
So now we have this on, get hooked to the engine, slip the transfer case in.
I did that video a long time ago, but I heard that somebody did that, started that idea was out a long time ago before I started it, but I at the time I did it, the video, somebody else put a video out afterwards.
Get the transfer case, bolt all this stuff together. But when you get all this stuff accomplished and you get through all the problems,
And that person
things that I think about broken cars the most. Just like you solve these problems and then you move forward,
does really good artwork,
everybody feels good.
and I couldn't believe when I seen that.
Do it all over again.
And he's got a lot more followers than me. And that kind of ticked me off. But that's alright. My God has more plans for me than that. No need to be mad.
I feel like I adjust the forks in every
What comes around goes around for him.
So we don't do a lot of four-wheel drive, but that's the reason.
So now that red does stand out a little bit more.
There's a lot of different ways. Obviously, you can get four-wheel drive, but this
Helps it out.
and the advanced adapter seems to work the best for these. And the Wheels Shop chassis have designed with these in mind, so it just works seamlessly.
Now this what I've done on this, how I done this one is I got a copy machine, and I could take whatever picture I find on my phone and make that copy, and then I take that copy and make other copies of it in black and white, and then I do the Scott McKay thing, uh, where you flip the paper over and you do the pencil on it, and then you trace the whole thing with the ink pen. You trace this whole picture with the ink pen, and you'll have it there. And so that's what I've done on this.
We now have
And that's what I've been doing a lot lately.
transfer case adapter, so we can all in one way to get these sun checks. Sun can go there for a minute.
There, I think that's looking good. I like that.
So the next piece of the puzzle
I like it. I like it.
is this, and the question is what angle do you put it at? Do you bolt it in the truck and slip the engine to it? You think that'd be the smartest? I'm almost thinking so too. What do you think, Kane? I'm like, I'm almost thinking bolt it right here, slip the engine and transmission to it.
I used to do most of these paintings the same way as Steve Leahy does. with just cutting that picture out and then cutting areas out and doing it that way. But I need the practice with airbrush control, and so that's why I've been doing it this way here lately with the Scott McKay method and that. That looks a lot better. I like that. I like how everything's turning out.
I'm gonna have to unbolt it when it's up in there. Once I get the engine in, I'll put a jack under here, and then I'll unbolt it and just turn it and bolt it back together. I think that's gonna be the smartest way to go.
Yeah, for the doing like how I said the Scott McKay method, you could do that at the kitchen table or wherever you want, tracing it with the ink pen because a lot you have a lot of different areas to get traced, so you don't have you that this in itself has a lot of time involved in it this way first. And that's what I do is like I got a lot of it. I just went ahead and did it somewhere else where I could have it all set up for the art because I still have to prepare this paper with the Autobahn sealer and everything like that before I get into doing the artwork itself. You still have to prepare all that stuff, all this preparedness before you start the artwork.
I think it should go right there.
It's preparing yourself each step, and then you get into spraying and everything like that. And yeah, I can still see some of the lines. I don't know if you guys could see some of that stuff, but I come in with the paintbrush and try to get everything filled in and that, and then come over and spray it. It's just a lot. It's a lot of work. I mean, that's why some of these paintings cost so much. And people don't understand that. I'll be right back.
It's deep enough. So I just pierce the block with a tool on the bolt. Because I mean, all these parts that we get, they're great parts, but there's only so many universal parts, and maybe this bolt's just too long. So with the plate in place against the block, I'm sticking this in there, 1 inch, 380. This is showing long, but I'm wondering if we're just out of threads. It's not a lot, because this thing's stopped pretty good. You know what, I'm just gonna be safe, and I'm gonna get some shorter bolts. Double down, Checkers and Rallies 349 doubles.
Double down.
The cheesy, toasty new sourdough double nuts with 2 beef patties and grilled onions. Cheese double or a spicy chicken double, just $3.49 each. Go all in for less only at Checkers and Rallies.
Okay, quick heads up. This part has a lot of information. Like, a lot. And yes, the new Toyota Corolla has the features, the tech, the stuff you're supposed to care about.
Alright, up that.
But what really matters,
Yeah, it was like this one after when I did this one, I set this up, prepared this one all set, and then I prepared I got this or the fairy lady with the wings and that. I prepared her and this, and I have the mermaid to do yet, and I have a deer picture I'm going to do also. So it's like I prepared 4 of them on this. And then, like I said, I was at Michael's, or I think it was Michael's. I was there and I seen the mask. I found that one, so I got that one set up to go. So it's like I got 5 things set up to go when I'm ready. And they're not commissioned work or anything like that. It's just I got them prepared to go in each line as I keep going rolling on with my painting. I don't know what my next ones are going to be, but I know I'm all set to go for a good while with paintings.
But see the gap down at the bottom here? This fastener should have pulled this plate up flat to it.
I might do a.
That's why it was turning so
I have done
come to find out
water bottles. I got them all done.
here.
The two water bottles. I have different things I could paint on, and it's just a matter of preparing that stuff up to paint on. So it's you can keep on rolling and rolling. I have many different kinds of car paintings I could do. Uh, and that I want to do animal paintings. I want to do stuff like this, stuff like the other one, abstract work. There's so many different ways you could go, and it can keep you busy.
Thing comes way out over here. Maybe I just take a grinder to this.
I'm surprised how much that girl painting everybody loves. That the fairy girl or whatever girl with the coffee cup and that. How much everybody loves that one.
See this side. We should have started with this side.
That one turned out. That's another one I think is really good. Turned out really good. It surprised me how good it looks too.
Probably is a better option when you start throwing roof to these things.
The deer picture. You want to see what the deer picture going to look like?
Figure out what we're gonna do with this side. I think we need to grind that whole.
I can show you what I have as a copy because I already got that set up to go.
So things are
And when I set when I set this stuff up,
that whole thing's gonna have to come off.
I have them in folders, like the deer behind the tree. And
So see,
I already have the paper all set up and ready to go. And this is what the deer picture is going to look something like. So that's going to be cool to do this one too. I think that's going to be a nice one. I haven't done a really good. I did one for a buddy of mine, but this is going to be a nice one to do. So you can see how it's all going to be, and you can see like way in the background. You can see like a fence line, the barbed wire, then trees going around there, trees there, all of it. He's on a hill there, and then the bark of the tree and that. So it's gonna be a pretty neat one to do.
yeah. I was thinking like there's a lot of stuff you want to see with your eyes. So if you can't use your eyes, you're gonna be bummed.
I think it might be relatively easy. I'm not 100% sure.
Need to go get my sexy glasses.
Then the mermaid painting, I have that one set up. That one, I think it's going to be a lot of details into that one. That'll be my one dedicated to. This is going to be dedicated to Ryan Townsend. I know I ain't going to be as good as him on it, but I'm going to try that one too. That one's going to be real difficulty. So, like I said, people, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. I had that one set up also, so these are the next two that I have set up after Yoda. And plus that mask. So you people watching, you people watching the video now and later on, hit that like and subscribe. We need some subscribers. A lot of people to subscribe to the channel. All right, we got that. Red's good. I like that. I might add. I have to add some of the red in there. Red in there. while I got it out, I'll do some red in there. Just do a little bit there and there. See how it is there. Got a little bit of red going there. We'll have a little bit going in there wherever I have the orange. So I'm going to go ahead and add that now. Like I said, the mermaids to Ryan Townsend. He is one I look up. Another one I look up to for artwork and that. Um, he inspires me to get better with the airbrush.
This truck's doors gap match today. Can't get them clear up. You know? A little bit. Kind of mushing some metal around a little bit, maybe add a little bit, maybe take a little bit away. A little micro adjustment here. Trying to get these things fit real nice and flowing through the cab. So far, so good.
And I watch his Ryan Townsend videos over and over and over.
First things first, we'll get it aligned best we can so that our gap tool will fit through there. See that one little snug spot?
Alright, let's go down in here.
Is to get this to fit everywhere. So if it doesn't just fall into place and align perfectly, then we have to use a bunch of different techniques. To get the overall fit,
Then if you pick up some of the
have to lay the top of the door
if you get AI, get some AI pictures, and I tried doing them. They're pretty fun to try to do.
It was really nice.
They challenge you in the artwork.
Now it's very good. We have
So,
working on this. Then anything else is gap, and then I'll test this. Alright, changing it down.
gotta watch the fork here.
Think my window frame flanked a little. I don't know for sure. So try to back out a little bit. Might not do anything. Might just have to go in and I'm welding on this edge just everything. And then here I might have to add this back down. So I'm gonna bring up the gap there so the fork any of it is tight closer.
ultimately you want to be able to adjust the door.
Yeah, it's summertime. Since it's summertime, like I said, I think Cretex and Iwata ought to have their salesmen out around the world going crazy with trying getting some of their stuff sold at these stores, big stores.
We might move this hinge a tenth of an inch, and that's going to make a quarter of an inch difference back here.
I mean, you might have enough sales as it is, but you could never have enough sales. Get out there.
So you can imagine
Get some people to get out there for you.
hinges, it could take an hour, easy, to get the thing adjusted where you want to. Then once we do get it adjusted, we'll drill them so we can put pins in there to get back at least that close to where we were.
That's better. Yeah, I think we're back to where we want to be. This is okay here.
Yeah. Ryan Townsend's page is Edith Edge.
Isn't the best technique, but it's effective in adding to the door material and closing up the gap.
That him and his girlfriend owned a tattoo place in Florida, and it's called Edith Edge. But his videos on that channel, their tattoo place.
Chassis to show up. And we're going to take the time now on the old chassis to get these doors
He even
vendors fit.
he got a 6-hour video of where he has his girlfriend sitting there, sitting off over here or over here, and she's just sitting there, and he's doing a painting of her sitting over there. And he does a Yoda painting. It's like a 4-hour video of doing Yoda too, and he does it completely freehand. Edith Edge tattooing, I think it is. But his name is Ryan Townsend. Like I say, I watch his videos over and over and over. I cannot get enough of it. These are supposed to be red. You see it there? On my picture it has these reds too. So we're gonna go ahead and do them.
So really, it's like applying all the tricks we have to get the fitment super nice, so that as you look at it, you just think, wow, that truck fits together so wonderfully. And it looks like it was so easy. You wish it was easy. It ain't. Sometimes, especially trucks. Oh my gosh. Let's see what that gets us.
Those just stay like that. Because it's supposed to look like he's being beamed up or beamed down. Alright, now let's do. Before I do that, I'm going to add the blue on the forks here, on this fork. Uh, Maybe I'll go up here. Because I'll have to add the blue in there. And a little bit on this one. Let me do the paintbrush work first. And we'll clean the brush out. And that. Before I do the black. Yeah. Yeah. I'll be right back.
Take some of this boss off. Hey Sean, do you have those plugs again? It's one big thing that you always have to look for when you're doing any kind of modifications, especially around an engine, is any orifices that it has. You want to make sure that you're not getting anything in them. Basically, if I didn't cover that, any metal that I'm gonna get from grinding this is gonna could float in the air and go right into the oil pan. That's bad. Makes me a little nervous grinding on this block because I'm not familiar with it. I don't know if I'm gonna open something up. I don't know if it's gonna affect the structural integrity. But yeah, you gotta be careful. You don't know what you're grinding into. This will look pretty safe, so you never know. See what we got. Oh, come on. Now it's hitting the other one. Oh, you're killing me over here, Steve. Clean up this initial cut. I'm actually gonna
Yeah.
it out so it looks a little bit more natural. I might put a little wool here and a little wool here to kind of match these edges. So just
Um.
wool and then we have two sharp corners so it doesn't
Yeah. Let me
I think it's like
put these off to the side. Let's put these off to the side for now. Ooh. Better watch it. The red I had open a little bit. Get my wet palette going here a little bit.
brackets all squared up, nice. Now we're gonna see, dude. Let's see how like she's flat on all bosses now. And now we'll see if this blocks.
Like I said, we'll put some of these lines in. See, that's the thing. I'm doing painting these lines in and that. Ryan Townsend, he fucking, oh, excuse me, watch my language. He does it with airbrush, and I tried to get that good to where I could do these little lines with the airbrush. He does it with the airbrush. But it's all in like he even said it's all in how you have the paint come out of the your gun. Your gun got to shoot really good to get it that small. And that I think I could do that small with the paintbrush more than the airbrush. I'm starting to get down there a little bit with the airbrush. But it's a little tricky, but it's also tricky with the paintbrush too. But you have a combined with the paintbrush and the airbrush combined together kind of has the flavor that you want in a way to me. This is just me talking about it. Alright. Now you see I hold my hand sometimes when I'm doing the airbrush or the paintbrush part. I'm gonna let this line go a little bit big. But I'm basically hand's a little shaky. That's okay. See, even though I went bigger on here, it's kind of bigger going out there because I'm going to be doing the blue in this area here. This, I'm going to go up a little higher. And with this part of the fork, I barely got the, I basically just got the paintbrush just touching it to where I can do the line.
And subscribe.
Yeah, do that. Do that thing you guys do. Like and subscribe.
All right. Now I need what? Look how that is right there. I want it to come up here. Gotta watch your hand. Sometimes mine is just cold, but it feels like it's wet.
So what we got here is Jason Johnson's 1969 Super B. We're calling it.
So I'm still working in this area right here.
This has got some pretty cool.
You can see where the blue is.
It's sitting on a Roadster Shop independent chassis, one of their fast tracks, built back into the unibody. This is going to give a lot more
Grab a
strength
little
to
bit
the
of the
car,
black.
handling corners. Stance is going to be kick-ass, and of course some of the tricks we've done to the body are really going to put it over the top. Namely, Howard's been working his ass off here, doing a whole new front fascia based on my design that we put together. What he's done is he's actually reshaped the entire front corners of the fenders. So basically, from here down, has all been hand formed. We're not going to run bumpers on this car. We're actually roll pinning both the front and the rear.
See how it matches up on the fork there.
Sport cover right now, which is
Now, like I said, this area could be a little bit thicker with the black.
you should do this for a living. That's pretty nice, right? So some of the other really cool tricks. We'll just take a second here and get out of this way. This has got a
Do
lot
this
of really
right
nice motion
there.
on here, a lot of compound bends. He's really doing a nice job, much like the front of the car. This has all been hand fabricated and it just looks really, really nice.
I'm right there
One of
with
the
it.
things that notable, smooth over firewall.
And you can see how this bar coming up connects right in this area. So
It's just basically one hole.
that's where I'm at right here.
Like what we've done on the
We'll do it like
This is a 15
this right
horsepower
here.
Craig third gen Hemi with a 3-liter supercharger. This thing's gonna skew. And of course, Jason likes all of his cars manual, so this has got a 6-speed manual transmission.
We just let it disappear in here.
Trick. A couple other things as we move around the car here. Let's go this side.
That's alright.
We kept the wheelbase pretty much stock, but we've been actually building on SolidWorks. We've been designing new side skirts, which are going to be carbon fiber, single time layup, kind of a situation on the molds that we're building. Also, we have some front canards for
There.
the air splitter up front, as well as the air director in the back. So that'll all be done with carbon fiber. This will just keep the weight down. It'll be something that can be repaired if anything ever happens to it. But more importantly, it's just going to have a nice style, keep the weight down, and look killer. So other things that are really kind of notable about the car, we're going to develop our own color for this car. Because it is the Killer V, we're going to go
Kind of fades right into
and,
it.
the windows are going to be flush mounted. But what we've done here is we've added creases onto the landing pad. We'll glue the windshield on. We're also going to make a piece of trim.
Just let
that's
this
gonna be
go.
the same color as the ground effects basically on this car. This will kind of give it a nice clean look. Everything will be flush. No chrome on this car except for the hardware. Another thing that's notable is we got rid of the rain gutters.
I let it go. I want it lighter
So they're basically about
right in there because I want the blue to go in there. It kind of dips around. Whoop. I'm too high. I'm not high enough yet. Alright, we'll come up higher.
so now we have a one-piece glass, which is going to give it
It's right in here where the light is. I don't know what this is down here. Oh, that's a lot of scribble down in here. But we'll go up higher.
vertical line breaks up the line of the car going fast. So that's always something that's kind of trick. Speaking of trick, set of one-off 10-inch smooth door handles. We've also built the entire dash, which now blends into the doors, which we'll see that later on. It's not installed right now. Got one of our gas caps here. Thanks, Matt Hodge. And also, pot metal pieces. I absolutely despise, again, the seams that are going vertical on these cars. So what the guys have done is they've gone through, they'll actually hand fashion all of this piece
Looks
right
like
here.
this will be part of the blue.
Get rid of the pot metal and the seams. Again,
It's not as dark as before.
we've straightened out all of the lines on the roll pan, the rear taillight panel.
But that'll be part of the blue.
So we have really nice tight seams. And last but not least, we got
Um,
the hood here
here.
fashion the entire
Need to come up higher.
hood scoop.
There's the light.
Built because we're
The
supercharged.
light comes across there.
Obviously, being a custom car, you want it to kind of look like what it was supposed to be, but we've added a lot of really cool stuff. So we'll have to check back into this one later, but it's
Light up here.
it looks fast just sitting here. It's cool.
The light right there.
And the shape is doing really well. Just modifying the gaps here to kind of flow with the fender a little better. And I'll be able to get the structure welded in. I've got it all secured in place. Kind of working my way out here.
That's pretty wild, huh?
Yeah, it's coming together. Got a little more smoothing to do, but the overall shape and the radius everywhere is really, really fun.
Kind of right there.
Getting stronger. All the sheet metal's getting
Alright, I've done.
as we dial in on that shape. Very cool. It's been kind of a long road, hasn't it?
Yeah, this is probably one of the harder projects I've done.
Yeah.
Definitely gave me a run for my money.
Alright, now we got the blue coming up to right about in them areas.
Jumped out of the hood pretty good. And so we always like to kind of turn up the factory cars. So with that,
Just you keep looking over. Look at
original
5 seconds. I look there. I'll try to come over here, look at everything, where everything is, where I'm concentrating on this, and then I look over here, making sure I'm close, just close enough,
originally this hood was an arm,
where I see my lines, see my color.
so we had some big holes shaved, and then
You get that picture in your head.
outer skin.
And then you could step back, look at it, keep looking at it, both of them at the same time when I step back, and that. All right, let's see what I have back here.
Of the distortion that you have, and this shape, this big diamond shape, doesn't play well once you start putting into it. It wants to quit
Pretty much what I want.
ways, and so
I could still erase. By erasing, what I mean by erasing is I could take the white and erase that line if I want. But I'll probably end up doing the erasing with the airbrushing away, and then some with the paintbrush. But it's kind of set up to where I like it. Oh, I gotta set this one up too, right there. Need to set that fork up a little bit. Alright, well,
have a huge supercharger that sits up in here. We can't have the factory structure that's all there. So we basically built this new structure with some half sections. We built these panels on the Polmax. These outer ones,
then trying to
this entirety,
eliminate paintbrush use,
but they come
but it's pretty hard. Yes, it is pretty hard to eliminate the paintbrush use.
until we get all the sheet metal work done because it would be in the way, obviously.
But you can't, I mean,
We're getting very close. We'll be able to
some people can. I'm not one that can right now.
structure in. Been quite the task. So,
Like Scott McKay,
what do you say?
he eliminates some of it too. He's like, I think he's down to where he's got like 5% of the paintbrush work.
And there's only one last thing left, and
But I have yet, all the Ryan Townsend videos, I have yet to, I never have seen him using the paintbrush.
something like that. I'm not a Chrysler aficionado, so I just saw a picture. I was like, that's the one. Right on, Eric.
What he uses, the most is the airbrush, and but also he does practically the same method here. What I done, like I show you guys, where you take and put the pencil on the back and you trace it with the ink pen. I think he does this method a lot, and then he does most of it with the airbrush.
So, we dug into it, ended up changing out the flex plate and the starter. This is a early O&O block, the high nickel one that everybody wants. Turns out that these blocks
Well, you must be really good, Parson. You can, you've been trying really good.
So what I'm dealing with now is we're shooting for this right here, this clearance right here, 20 to 30 thou between taking the, in here on the flex plate to the valley of the pinion on the starter. It's too far away, right? It's gonna come out, it's gonna grind, it's gonna slip. If it's too tight, right? Gears are too tight, then the pinion might not engage. It might just kind of come out and grind around the face of the flex plate, or it will engage, but then it won't go back and blow the starter up. So this one is fighting.
I think with my
There's no shim
that lady painting,
to the bark of the starter.
it might be. I used the pencil mark
Keep taking material out
to my advantage on that because
so far. What I'm
when I traced a lot of it, it came out with the pencil and that, and then I had to do a little bit of the air. I did a little bit of the airbrush helped it out, and a little. I did
taking material off
less of the
to bring this
paintbrush work on it
the starter ring gear comes down right here.
because let me grab that paint and I'll show you Parson. I'll show you on this, on her. You can see where some of the pencil work is in there, but I went back over it a little bit with some of the colors and that. Even in her hair, I left some of the pencil lines go, stay in there and that, but I still came in and did my airbrush work in some of them areas and that. But I sometimes I had to do go over the lines and that with the paintbrush work. But some of the pencil work is left in there and just coloring in and everything like that. But yeah, it's kind of trick. You can use that pencil work to your advantage sometimes, and then you do the airbrush work. It's like that was all airbrush, but some of the pencil marks were left in there and that. Then this where it says I got it, I cut that out of another copy that I made.
20 thou to 35. So ideally 30 would be nice, but I think it's gonna be closer to that 35 right now.
Sometimes you use that pencil mark to your advantage on doing things. Uh, but then like how I had to do the background of this, the pencil mark disappeared because I brought this color down to cover up the pencil mark and everything. But you still have some of the pencil mark on this side. This side I did a little bit of the paintbrush work, even with the eyes and all that too. You leave some of it, then sometimes you cover it up with your paintbrush work. It's just different methods. Like here, I had some of the pencil work in there. You guys can't see it, but I went ahead and went back over it with the paintbrush real lightly.
All that nice and flush, looking pretty. My
That's how we have to do it sometimes.
Just keep the big stuff taken care of. It's been pretty nice.
That's the way I do it. Like I said, some people could do these lines with airbrush. I cannot. All right, like I said, I'm gonna let me close that the wet palette out. Oh, and here you go, you guys. My wet palette is a mess. I'll let you see my wet palette. It's a mess. But I use the wet palette a lot. And I mix up some of the colors on the wet palette and that and just go at it. And this wet palette, it's probably been, I don't know, been a while. When I go to peel that paper up or whatever sheet up, there's holes in it, and I don't care. There's a sponge. I keep it wet with the water and that. But I do not just water. I use on here. I do use my 4021. I dip the paintbrush into the 4021, and then I come over and grab some of the colors and that. Up here, this spot right there, that's the transparent, so I can use that to my advantage sometimes too. But this wet palette helps me out a lot. Uh, the black and the white I usually leave down here so I could do the lines and that. And then I just add my colors on there. You see, I have an array of different colors. And all when I go to change the paper and all that out, I always try to keep my black and my white down here, and then the rest of the colors will be up in here, and I can mix them together to go with that painting. It all depends on what painting I'm working on, is what colors go on the wet palette. And you can see it's the red grass, wet palette. It's a small one. It doesn't take up a lot of room. You can see how I got the edge here of the Visionaire board, and I have all over to here. And then, like I said, I have the 4021 in there. I close that up, put that back there, that right there. My paintbrush is right there, and I use and I have my black and white is always sitting over here if I need it for airbrushing. Then the other buck didn't. I have 4021 in there. Oh, you can't see that, but different things. You could use color pencil or whatever if you want to use that. But I have my 4050 in the little one, stuff like that. That's what I usually wipe my stuff off on. All right, let me flip you back up. Right there we go. All right, how long we been on here? Give you another 10 minutes. Um, all right, now I got to clean that red out of the gun, and we're going to shoot the blue.
So here's what I'm envisioning. Cut it in the middle. Cut it to where you want this to go underneath, and just basically split it, take it, overlap, and just glue it in. You don't have much work.
You use plastic addition lids sometimes. Yeah, you can use the lids or whatever. This wet palette has been really nice using it. I have different things, but the wet palette I have had no problem with it. I do leave it wet. I tried to put the wet when I put the wet palette away. I add water into it before I put it away, and that way it's really moist inside the wet palette.
How far do you want that taper to go back? Do you,
All the way back. Just cut the whole thing, all the way around that, all the way back, split it in half. Open it out, you'll have a filler panel in the thing here, probably just where that comes out.
It's whatever
Sure what you guys
you're used to with doing and that. Go, go for it. But like I said, that's how I do it. I use that wet palette and that, and it's easier just to cover it up, put it away, and if I need that paint later on, it's on that wet palette. I don't have to worry about it. And uh, also with the wet palette, some people have problems with it staking in that. I don't have no problem with the smell or anything. I think the reason I don't have the problem is when I clean everything out. When it's time for me to change everything, I'll go ahead and throw that plastic or whatever it is on there. I or that paper it's on there. It's a wax paper, I believe. But I throw that paper away, and then I take that sponge and I go to the sink or that, and I use Dawn dishwashing detergent on that sponge, rinse it out really good. I mean, scrub it up really good, not really super hard or anything like that, and rinse it out, and then put it back in the wet palette. I don't have no smell, and that Dawn dishwashing detergent in that when I rinse it out, I get a lot of it out of it, but it never has affected my paint when I'm using 4020. I like using the 4021 to dip my brush in and then grabbing the paint off of the wet palette. Now you have to watch it with dipping your paintbrush into the 4021 and then going to the paint. It could be your paintbrush could be soaked too much with the 4021, and then sometimes you'll pull some of the other paint on down. So you have to watch that. And ever since I've been doing it, I it does it every once in a great while because the paint is too thin on the paintbrush.
Helps bring everything on plane and have a nice even film build of the filling. Once I get this section,
But what I mean by the paint being too thin is you don't have enough thick paint on there or whatever.
around the perimeter so it looks good.
You get the feel for it after a while of how that color should look going on there. It's like this part of it. You see how thin it is. It didn't move anything because I barely have the paintbrush touching it. It's not like I'm having the hairs pushed down really hard on there. I try to have the paint flow off of there, and the paint will flow off, and it'll leave a nice line, and that just a matter of getting used to it. Right now, I'm cleaning the airbrush out. Oh, and by the way, the airbrush I'm using is the Evolution CR Plus from whatchamacallit. H&S. Harder and Stenback airbrush. I've been liking this airbrush. It's been doing really good. I had Timothy John Luke's airbrushes. I got 3 of them. They've been shooting really well. I have a lot of airbrushes. I have a lot of master airbrush. I don't have a Dakumi or whatever, and I don't have a wrist pin. I was checking the wrist pin out the other day. They're pretty expensive for them, but I kind of like to try one, but they're kind of too expensive for me right now. I just ordered a bottle of reducer from Spray Gunner. I either get my paint and parts from either Spray Gunner or I get it from Coast Airbrush. Or I get it from Hobby Lobby if they got it, or Michaels. I wish Coast Airbrush or Spray Gunner would open up a store here in Maryland. If you're going to be Coast Airbrush, I think you should have a place here in Maryland. East Coast. And I think you could have one right by the Bay Bridge. Would be good for you. Because it's a Annapolis area and people going to Ocean City, and there's guys who go down there for summertime and they're doing the t-shirts and everything, and that's where you see a lot of people doing t-shirts is at places like that.
Because sometimes we feel bad, even when
Ah, you got the harder and stem back in your hand right now. That's good. Yeah, I like this H&S gun. It's been doing really good. And I'm using the small cup, not the big cup on it, because the one I got had I think it's three different sized needles or two different. I'm down to the smallest needle I'm using on it.
I like it. I like it. It's got that little high torque starter and it spins it over real fast. So no throttle input, nothing. You just turn the key on, wait for the gauges to sweep, and then fire it up. We're done.
All right. All right. Now get the blue out.
Taking these ribs here, work down to this side, getting out this area here, and up here to get a bigger exhaust position. And then we're also cutting off this end here, shortening it so that it flows better with the body.
Anytime you use these cups and lids and that, always close them up before you start your painting. If you don't close, like I always say, if you don't close them lids up and that cup up, no matter what you drop or whatever, you always knock that one over. You always knock it over. It's a mess. Yeah, Dread FX is pretty good.
Next thing after this, all this sanding is to put it back on the car.
He is good with Dread FX is good with ever paint brush or airbrush that's in his hand. He is so good with it. So I always take all that with everybody checking out airbrushes and everything. I take that with a grain of salt in a way because they're so good at using any airbrush. But like I say, I do watch them, but I watch them because the airbrush. I want to know if it comes with a .02 or a .01, and to check out the prices of them and that. But how they demonstrate and all that with the airbrushes, I take it with a grain of salt. They are really good with the airbrush. They've been using them for a long time.
No, I agree with you. I think it's perfect, and it's so crazy that once it gets painted and once it goes on, it could you're gonna look at it and go, this is
You
really
could
cool.
almost guarantee that.
The bottom of the rocker off for this piece, and once it's all painted and blended, it's gonna look amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited. They've done a really good job on the body work. I mean, aside from the base, how straight this
They could take any airbrush and be really good with it.
like, subscribe, and more importantly, smash that like button.
No, your real voice. They smash that like button.
Ryan Townsend, he said he's never used any other airbrush except for the Iwata airbrush. The Eclipse. He uses the Eclipse all the time. So, I mean, I use right now. This one's been shooting good. I liked it because there was a .02 they had with it,
So Jason Super B is now finally ready
and
to paint
that caught my eye
feels like it wants to go.
a little bit because I want that side needle. Ryan Townsend does not know what the size. He doesn't know what the size of the needle. He just knows he could shoot the airbrush, or yeah, he could spray with that airbrush. He's good shooting with that airbrush. I'm gonna get bold.
It's good time for this. We're gonna blow it apart. There's a bunch of stuff that was kind of didn't get finished, needed to go over the body shop. So, like final assembly of the headers needs to be done. There's a bunch of stuff that needs to be done with the exhaust on the tips, like working with the diffuser in the back. Yes, there's a handful of other stuff like welding up some stuff on the trans tunnel, some heater hose reinforcement things and whatnot. So just a bunch of little stuff. So I think we'll be okay. They said that we got a couple days to do it, so that probably was like one day.
You want to take it off of the go check before we put it on the lift, or do you want to leave it on the go?
I mean, we just probably hide it out and just get it underneath and do the thing right now. The rib nut, then there's a second rib nut. That's where the actual tuck
And some people don't believe in
here. That's
using the eraser or a scratch method and that. It's all to yourself. It's how you feel comfortable doing the artwork. Go for it.
where is it? I don't see this. Where? What are you even talking about?
Just cleaning up some of these welds, and then grinding down some stock, weld up a few things, and then just going over it, double checking everything.
Ron, how you doing, Ron?
Bridge history and all the other fun stuff we do.
I think I'm gonna send you off on this. Got the stuff up here that I want to weld welded. And then we'll just go through and knock some of these lumps down.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm the reason I'm doing these videos during the week, some of these videos during the week is I don't think I'm going to be on this Saturday morning. I think I'm going to go to the flea market and see what's happening there. Maybe try to sell some paintings. Go ahead, set up and sell some paintings.
Tighten that up and then maybe get that thin enough to plump it back up a little. Keep on going. Oh, there.
The last time I was there, I sold the painting, the most expensive one, but he got a hell of a deal on it. It was the one painting that I had a lot of time in on it, but I was tired of having it sitting around.
That right there feels like it wants to go.
But he called me up and he wants my other painting, the American Graffiti painting that I have. That splashed on me in a way. I was just saying something about the erasing.
So Jason Superbee is now finally ready.
And that's what I just got done doing.
He wanted to do use
Alright,
ceramic
let me
it's
check
kind of,
this out.
more of a gold, really rich kind of a color. There was gold colored super
Yeah.
bee back in the day, and we wanted to do something that really spoke for the killer bee. So we went with modern classic. This actually is based on but what's going to be the trick is going to be the trim. So we're going to do the trim in the bubbly, which is my champagne color, and basically we're going to do a matte finish clear on that. That would be a nice accent, and also we're going to use a little bit of gloss black. So the wheels will have matte finish lovely. It'll have black on there, orange calipers or the gold calipers as you were, and basically this is going to look really trick. Nice combination. Not a lot of chrome. We are going to do all the hardware will be done in triple plate chrome, but we're going to keep everything else kind of monochromatic and kind of trick. This color is just absolutely gorgeous. If you look at it, you can see how much it bends on the white. Get the highlights, get a little bit of roll off, more into a copper kind of a color. So they obviously had a gold color back in 1969, and so this is basically kind of a version of that, but extremely amplified. The copper on the bottom side of this rollover, when you see the light reflecting really bright on the top surfaces, when it rolls over into the copper, that's probably a little closer to what the original color might have been. So there actually is a little bit of two-toning on this, actually, where the trim goes around the tail light panel. That is a separate piece, which is going to be black, and then the center of that will be done in a matte bubbly finish. That'll kind of give it a little bit of contrast and really make it pop. Lots of details, all of the ground effects, the rear diffuser, all of that stuff, the tail light panel and the trim, all done in a matte finish. Also, the frames around the tail lights, we're going to make sure that those are detailed, and those will also be gloss black. One of the beautiful things about this is the very first time that we're going to spray this color on a car. This is going to look really, really rich. I can't wait.
Okay. Oh, I still didn't do that fork there. I need to touch that up a little bit. I'll go in here.
What's my tip? Gotta have a wet sand. I'd rather mash 40 cars than wet sand too. So it's in 400. You can seal the car in 400. But with the wet sand, it gives us the option to just go straight to base. Because especially with how well Brian's did the body work, there's no cut throughs. So, you know, we don't need that. We don't need to make it uniform because it's already uniform. It's just the last little step of
I still got put lines in here, so I ain't gonna worry about that too much. I got that. Oh, I want to dark come around here a little bit.
You just go back over, make sure it's completely gone. I mean, there's nothing to worry about. You'll go over a spot 3 or 4 different times thinking that it's done. Find another scratch. Like up there on the top of the quarter panel, I went over the same spot 5 times thinking I had it done. And then there's another scratch. It's like, come on. That's the difference between professionals. Listen in very closely. Because much as I hate to say it, he is probably the best here. When you're working with him, you have to make sure you're just as good. Everything he can is pretty much gold. So everything he says is completely right. If it ain't perfect, it ain't right. Yeah. If it ain't right, it ain't good enough. I mean, I've been accused of being the best by several different people over my career. I've never felt comfortable with that. I just try to do the best I can and try to achieve excellence on a daily basis. Sometimes you make the mark, sometimes you hit the mark, sometimes you don't. The sandpaper, it wears out pretty quick. You'll see people use one piece of sandpaper on a whole car, and that is absolutely the wrong way to do it. Typically, out of a size of paper that big, you'll get 2 square feet maybe before it is no longer sharp. It'll still sand, but it's not sharp. So
All right.
a little bit of unevenness
Like I said, I want to do some blue up in here.
in the final finish, which isn't a big deal, but when you're trying to keep things consistent, you want everything to be consistent. And if you're using sandpaper that's dull, instead of sanding and giving nice little sharp scratches for the paint to stick to, it's like a dull razor blade. It's just, it'll cut if you push real hard, but you have no precision. When you're doing your last little step here, you want to use a soft block. So it's like foam kind of. Nice and soft. This is my favorite block ever for doing this. It's very forgiving if your technique isn't great. If you're using a harder block, you can leave gouges, which will show up in the paint. So when you're using a soft block here, it's got like cushion to it, so it doesn't cause any jagged marks in that final preparation for paint. As you're coming in, starting and stopping, the edge can roll, and you'll leave like a
Cut my fingernails the other night. Now they're too short.
attention.
I can barely pick the needle.
Notice until you go to paint it. And Brewster will get that first coat of paint on there, and you see all these horrible crosshatch patterns or gouges and stuff. If you don't spend the vast majority of your time getting the surface ready for paint, because you're just trying to get it in the booth, hurry up, get it done, slam it out. You'll think you've saved some time, but then when you go to put the paint on it, all those things will show up. So take your time in that final preparation to make sure it's perfect, so that when he goes to paint it, it's just a flawless experience. He's got nothing to deal with. There's no pinholes, there's no scratches that we miss, there's no gouges.
All right.
Those are the best paint jobs when the
I
painter
think I'm going to call it that for now
does
with
his
the
thing,
blue.
it's perfect. And it's a beautiful thing.
Need to go over that a little bit. I want to wait to do the gas tank there
How well you put it on, it's gonna look like crap.
because I want to do the
It's gonna go
paintbrush work
probably.
there before I commit to anything with the blue on that. I do got some spots right there. So let's hit a couple spots right here. Where they at? Right about here.
Chevy Silverado drivers will do a lot in the next 5 years. But here's one thing they won't: pay interest on their new truck. Now
what is it, 3 spots? Let's go. That's going to be the fork. So I need to come up. Yeah.
Asking your Super B for getting ready for paint.
There,
That way when we do
there,
decide to get the all get in there.
there. Do it like that.
Clean as possible, piece by piece. You want to, hi Shannon, hey, so let's talk about what texture, what goes black, what goes, color. Orange.
I think we'll focus on, because you're painting outside of cars, let's focus on everything that needs to go copper.
And probably, just chase this line right here, cover up on this, across the top, inside. Go down the side.
Like that. That'd be good there.
This toe board, the inner toe board will be
Do that gold, yep, and just chase the bottom set, yep, so just like that. Yep.
and then everything else, texture is lots black, you know.
So this will be your tricky spot right here, is where to break this crossbar.
Yeah, well, it's gonna,
Are you gonna just chase this?
I'm gonna chase that line.
There.
Right here.
Go like that. Looks ugly, but I need to do paintbrush work in them areas anyway, so I'm not over concerned with that.
Can we just do this whole entire panel right here?
Little bit of blue in there.
Just, and then cross that. And then this wall stays just black. And that blue walls, obviously you can texture on those.
That'd be good with that. I do need to go over. I'm going to end up. See, to me, this is a mirror, and then you have like your turn signal switch and high beam, low beam. You got the beams and that, and your throttle lock. Got a little bit of blue up in here. This is like your mirror and stuff like that there. Then over here is like your master cylinder for the brakes and that. At least that's what I'm taking it as, guys.
That'll be a two-tone on there.
We get done with it, we'll bolt it up and then just pull it nice and line. It'll be like some gap or nice detail, so we'll still have some of that. What's the color?
So platinum gold.
Platinum, like around the very bottom edge to kind of hide that burn.
So it just, so we don't bring the black underneath with texture that's on the bottom side. Hopefully we want to see on the upside.
Let's put fine line on the face of that to surround it so it's some nice detail.
Sounds good. And in the back, I know there's a brake line for the tailman area. So I'm just gonna paint all that.
Alright. I think that's good enough for the blue.
So the platinum 50/50 in here, the black gloss separator.
I'm ready to see this event.
Me
as
too.
a whole.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty. I know Jason's gonna be pumped too.
I can't wait to see it.
How long we been on here? Oh, almost 2 hours. Well, we got 2 hours or 2 minutes to go. I'm going to call it quits on it for the live stream. Almost a 2-hour video, but yeah, we're still working away on it, guys. I'm gonna have to do a lot of. Right now, I'm gonna sit back. Oh, I gotta do a lot of paintbrush work. Still some more paintbrush work. Still a little bit more of the airbrush work, or more airbrush work. And yeah, it's almost there. It's getting close to being where I like it. I'll be doing some of that off screen. I might finish it up either today or tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure. And like I said, this Saturday I do not know if I'll be going live. But I think Sunday I will. I'm not sure what time or anything Sunday and that. I'm just trying to give you guys more videos, as much videos as possible. You guys watching later on and stuff like that. Uh, so you have videos to watch or whatever for YouTube, for the YouTube channel and that. Uh, yeah, you guys never know when I'm coming on live and that. So, like I said, I got a feeling I'm going to end up going really late at night, probably at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock and that. So, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, help the channel out, tell people about the channel and everything like that. Uh, you should be able to hit the subscribe button down here in the corner. There's a subscribe button down there. You touch that and you subscribe to the channel. It's free. Yeah. All right. So I thank you all for coming on by. I thank everybody who's watching and that later on and that. Always great doing artwork for you guys. Never know what I'm going to do. So you all have a fantastic day. Have an awesome day. All right. Bye.